We have one heck of a video coming up for you. Stick around to find out what this beast is. This beast of a machine with this glowing dragon on the back is the MSI GS70. This awesome gaming laptop features not only a full RGB colour keyboard, but a very nice brushed aluminium back, a Core i7-4700HQ, which is a quad core, paired with an NVIDIA GTX 860M. This thing demolishes games. As I said, it has a 3-zone RGB SteelSeries keyboard and a multi-touch touchpad. Neither of those things I am that fond of, but we'll check out later. It has a beautiful matte 1080p 17.3 inch display, making this 2.66 kilograms in weight, which is incredibly light and it's incredibly thin. Has some indicators on the bottom. As you can see, these are staggered in certain order, but they're fairly easy to see, so no worries there. Anyway, it also has a dual fan design for that quad-core CPU and that awesome graphics card. It has 16 gigs of 1600MHz RAM and a pleather base, which means it's still touchable at the bottom. It also has a very nice carrying case which you can take with you when you carry it out and about. It has a whole host of accessories and plugins such as Ethernet, dual mini DisplayPort, HDMI, 4 USB 3 ports, SD card, power in, Kinks lock, and a plethora of audio stuffs. Now onto the awesome 3-color keyboard. As you can see, it's in zones, so you have left, center, and middle. But the one thing, as you can see, it's designed by SteelSeries, by the way, so that means you can use the SteelSeries engine, but my main problem is this cardinal sin. The enter key is in the American style, which as a British person I do not find that attractive. Also, the Windows key I found is a fairly strange place. Initially when I went for it, I realised that it wasn't there, and it was a bit difficult to get used to, but saying that, it is a very nice gaming feature because it means that you don't accidentally press the Windows key as opposed to just including a game mode. Another thing is that the backspace is a bit too short compared to the standard backspaces. Now, one thing is the multi-touch touchpad is rather nice just to use on a standard basis. It is a bit slow, but obviously you can change that in the mouse settings. It has pinch to zoom and some pull-in features for Windows 8, such as the charms, which is very nice. But one thing I did notice is that even when you're typing normally in almost any scenario, I tend to find that it causes a little bit of problem. So an example of this would be I'm typing a notepad here, and as you can see, it comes up with the charms, just because of where my right hand is and where my thumb sits. Now, this may not be a problem for you, and also the keyboard layout may not be a problem for you, but this is just my personal thoughts. Obviously, everything here is just my thoughts. So onto the more productivity aspect of this, it's definitely a powerhouse PC. If you're looking to perhaps upgrade your current PC, perhaps a desktop PC, but looking for something a little bit more mobile, this is definitely something you should probably look into. If you're looking to spend between $1,000 to $1,500, this is definitely the product for you. With the StarTech USB 3 hub, we're using we're powering 2 displays, a USB 3 memory stick, card reader, keyboard and mouse, gaming headset, and a Xbox 360 controller. All of that is powered off one USB 3 connector, and obviously the power lead for the hub and the laptop. But one lead and you are set for basically a complete desktop. Obviously there are other connections on the laptop as well, so if you wanted to add, for example, 3 more screens from the mini DisplayPort and HDMI outputs, you could definitely do that, and obviously there's other USB 3 ports and a card reader built in as well, so you could definitely use that to replace your current desktop. Now we're going to be using Tomb Raider, Skyrim, Grid 2 and Bioshock Infinite to do a bit of gaming benchmarking. So basically how we did the testing, just to start off, is we recorded the HDMI output for what you see here. This is actually, I think, while I'm benchmarking, and obviously there is a possible tiny performance hit, but realistically you can see in the graphs that we have in just a second that this thing demolishes games. At 1080p, which is what the beautiful screen is, these on full ultra, the highest settings you can possibly push them to, these games still hit 60 average, which is brilliant considering this is a goddamn laptop. Now, there is one slight thing, which is the heat output and the battery life, but we'll talk about that more in a second. As you can see, these games really just play to this card's advantage. The 860M just demolishes it. Yeah, as you can see, Tomb Raider on average hit just over 60 FPS. Skyrim did the same. Grid 2 demolished it at over 90, I think it's 96 FPS. And Bioshock Infinite hit just over 50. But saying that, Bioshock Infinite was on Ultra, and that is one of the newest, latest, hardest to run on Ultra games that you can possibly throw at it. So on average, that is fantastic at 1080p. Obviously it is a laptop, and this is just brilliant. I really can't sing enough praises. The one thing I would have to mention, well, sorry, the two things I'd have to mention is the battery life. With gaming, it's between 1 to 2 hours being, you know, on battery while gaming, which isn't fantastic, but to power such an awesome PC, I kind of would have to step back and say, okay. The other thing is the temperatures. It got to over 95 degrees on the actual surface of the laptop thanks to a temp sensor, and I couldn't play games on my lap, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a laptop. But apparently this is designed for more desk use, so if you were replacing your desktop, that would be a fantastic option, especially considering that with on a desk you get a bit more airflow, and it'd probably be a little bit cooler. Now, don't mind the temperatures of the GPU being over 100 degrees, that is probably meant to be there. Generally speaking, GPUs tend to run at 95 degrees anyway, so yeah, it is a bit of a problem. I would wish that they would add a couple of millimeters onto the bottom, and then, you know, add an extra couple of mils of battery and heatsink, but with a dual heatsink design, that's pretty cool. Now, one thing I have to mention is the productivity aspect of this. I was doing video editing, game developing, and 3D modeling on this for a while. In fact, I even made the new intro, outro, transition, and a few other things in Premiere and After Effects on this laptop alone. It's fantastic. It can just demolish games. It can demolish video applications, and because in an NVIDIA card, you can leverage those CUDA cores for things like rendering with After Effects or Premiere. Just anything that supports CUDA, this can run on, which is fantastic. It's brilliant, and I just love it. Now, for the price, it is definitely a good comparison to my PC, which is around about the same price, but obviously this is a lot more mobile, and you can use it, you know, just on your lap if you're web browsing. One thing to mention with the battery life actually is I was very surprised with the overall performance of it, in the sense that for just general web browsing and stuff like that, it gets between 5 and 6 hours, which is great, considering that the last laptop I ever actually owned was about 2 hours, and that was a AMD dual core. Yeah. Anyway, I have many songs of praise to sing about this laptop. It is literally the best laptop I've ever played with, and I really wish we got to keep it, but unfortunately I had to send it back, so here are my final thoughts. I found the trackpad really quite annoying to use. This may just be my hand size, my typing style, but with a multi-touch, you know, for scrolling and stuff like that, it wasn't the best implementation I've ever seen. The keyboard was okay. I liked the key travel distance, but I didn't like the layout. I also would have liked to have seen brighter LEDs, because it was very hard to see in the dark, and you know, ideally, especially for this price point, I would like to see individual key colors, you know, like the K70 RGB, but obviously because it's such an awesome laptop, it can definitely, you know, 60 FPS average, you know, and Bioshock Infinite at Ultra pretty much, give or take, and you know, I can't say enough about the performance and the, you know, productivity aspect of this PC. It's just fantastic. The connectivity was great, with obviously the multi-display support and the fact that you can just use whatever the hell you like with it, including a card reader, 4 USB 3s, and a few other things as well. That's just great. The 1080p matte display was fantastic. Good viewing angles. It wasn't perfect. I don't think it's an IPS panel, so you know, in future versions I wouldn't mind seeing an IPS panel just because of those great viewing angles. But if it was possibly maybe an overclockable panel, that would have been cool as well. And yeah, as I said, it's not terribly practical to carry around all day. I did carry it around in college for better part of a week and a half, and it wasn't brilliant to carry around all day, but it did work. I was able to use it for things like computing, programming, all that sort of stuff. So it is great. As I said, the battery life could have been nice, but the brushed aluminium finish is very nice. The bright dragon on the back is a nice touch. And yeah, I really do like it. It's an amazing amount of power in such a small form factor. It's great for use of gaming, video editing, 3D modeling, game design, programming, anything you can think of. It's just fantastic. And one thing I would like to add is that I saw a review for a Digital Storm Krypton laptop, which is, I think it's about $2,000 compared to the MSI GS70, the model we have, which is about $1,500 currently. By the way, this is all current pricing. Check the Amazon link down below if you want one. But I saw the review, and it was only about 5 to 10% behind in all of the benchmarks, considering it had the same CPU, same GPU combination, I believe. Or sorry, they had the 870M, but the same CPU. And considering that's $500 for a huge, thick beast of a laptop that I really wouldn't want to carry around every day, I would definitely say that this review points in the favour of the GS70, even though they're not trying to point it out. I really do like it, and it's just fantastic. So if you haven't already seen our reward system, what we're doing is giving each prod a score for value for money, performance, functionality, style, and TechteamGB awards. So for this one, we're going to definitely be giving this a 4 for value for money, 5 for performance because it's a beast, 3 for functionality because it had some problems, 5 for style because it's beautiful, and 4 for my general score. I really do love it. It gives an overall score of 21, and that means that we're definitely going to be giving this a Gamer Approved award. This is a fantastic powerhouse of a desktop replacement laptop PC thing. It's absolutely brilliant. We love it and we wish we could keep it, and it's a real shame we can't. If you have any questions about the awards, our new style of videos, or just anything to do with the laptop or us ourselves, leave that in the comments down below. Please do let us know what you think of the new style, the new type of content that we're making. It's definitely a big change for us in the amount of work that went into this video. I genuinely spent 2 weeks filming, reviewing and editing, and just messing with the laptop and this video. So let me know if that's definitely rubbed off, or if you want to see anything changed, or you like the old style. Just let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, that's pretty much it from me. One last little message at the end, but subscribe, like, dislike, all that sort of jazz, and we'll see you on the next video. Hope you like the rebrand, hope you like all the new content. There's plenty for you to watch, so stick around for that. Anyway, see ya. So thanks for watching this TechteamGB video. You've probably seen enough of me already, so I'm going to go away right after I say, if you haven't already liked or disliked, just let us know why in the comments down below as well. Check out some of our other videos, hopefully there'll be some somewhere around me. And then also feel free to subscribe as well, that really helps us out, and yeah, obviously it shows companies that you love us. So if you do love us, check us out on Facebook or Twitter. Hopefully there will also be some stuff around here maybe, but otherwise that's pretty much it from me, so we'll see you all in the next video.